Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming. Everyone's just kind of coming back to their seats. We're switching gears a little bit here, so you're not going to get any legal advice from me at all. My two goals are to get through this without crying and to hopefully give you some information on how to help yourself heal and thrive through fitness and exercise and nutrition. So thank you all for coming. And I kind of struggled with how to start today. Should I just jump right into my divorce and my healing process, or should I give you guys a little historical context as to my story so you can kind of understand the depth of where I'm coming from? We've all been through, I guess, everyone has either been through or is going through a divorce or something. We're all, going through some sort of transition always, I guess, right? So I decided to give you a little background. It won't be, doom and gloom totally, but just to give you an idea of my story and how I got to where I am now. So basically, just a little bit about me is that I've been a health and fitness coach for about 20 years. I started when I was 11, no, I'm kidding. And so I've always, I've coached people to run marathons, to get stronger, to lose weight, to, feel good about themselves. And I thought I did a good job of, being an example for people to lead a healthy lifestyle. And then I got divorced and it all kind of fell apart. But basically, so I was married for 15 years. We have no kids. And we got married at about 27. So I guess we were kind of young. We grew up together. We shared a lot of the same friends. Our families were very close. So in my mind, everything was good and great, and we had a good marriage. We traveled all the time. We relocated back and forth from New York to here to back to New York, and it was, it was great. And then January 15th of 2015, the date is burned in my brain. We had just come back from vacation, and he said that he wasn't happy anymore. So it came out of nowhere to me, totally out of the blue. I was shocked. I think a lot of people that get divorced or go through this have a little bit more processing time than I did. It's different for everyone, but for me, the day that he said he wasn't happy was the same day that he left and never came back. And I haven't seen him in 3 years. So it was devastating, it was difficult. And I struggled a lot. My health suffered more than I could even begin to tell you. Like I said, I always kind of prided myself on the fact that I led this healthy lifestyle and I was an example for my clients. And then I fell apart. So I was literally in bed, curled up in a ball for months. Months and months. I wasn't working, I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, I definitely wasn't working out. It really took a toll on me, on my health. So, sorry. But, so many things happened within that time period, but basically, I was in this hole. I was really I was in a dark place. Friends were coming over and bringing me food and hiding my Xanax and, telling me that I needed to go outside. And I just couldn't bear to do it. So that was all going on. And I was trying to figure out how do I pick myself up? How do I get back out there? How do I just even, do anything, just kind of I was a shell kind of the person that I was. And so all that's going on, I'm trying to deal with it. And then a tabloid story breaks that my ex is dating someone who's sort of in the public eye. And that was it. Then it was like, oh my God, now this has turned, this has made a complete turn. And it was worse. I didn't think it could get worse, and it was way worse than I could have imagined. So that was horrible. You're sitting watching TV, and E! News comes on, and there's this story about your ex. Meanwhile, he swore that there was no one else, and blah, blah, all those things, right? And so there it is, and you see it. It was 8 months later. It was 8 months after he left, but to me, it doesn't matter if it was 8 months or 8 minutes. The perception is that he left me for her. Right? And so then I'm mortified. So on top of all those feelings of confusion and shock and all that. Now I'm mortified. Now I have to tell my family and friends that, because for a long time I actually didn't even tell anyone that he left, because I thought I could fix it. I thought, oh, he'll come back, he's confused, he had said he wanted some time away, it'll just be a few weeks and he'll be back. And then this happened, so I'm like, oh, I can't hide from this now, so I have to, essentially I have to start telling my friends, which didn't take long for them to find out anyway. People were calling me and saying, did you see that? Yes, I saw, yeah, it's great. So when people say like, oh, I woke up on my bathroom floor, I always thought that was such a cliche. That was my rock bottom. I was literally on my bathroom floor when I had seen this story. And that was when I said to myself, I can't live like this anymore. I looked physically horrible. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't doing anything to take care of myself. It was terrible. Despite the fact that I had a lot of support and my friends and family were there for me through all of this, that's great, but it doesn't matter. If you don't feel that within yourself, you're never gonna pick yourself up and get out there and feel better. So lying on my bathroom floor, and a friend of mine came over, and it was like, I had this epiphany, and she looked at me, she's like, you really look bad. You look, thanks, that's not what you want to hear, but it is kind of what you have to hear, right? It was awful. So I thought, okay, what would I tell clients? How would I help someone through this? And I didn't have all these resources that are there, or I didn't know to look for them. So like for you guys here, this is amazing that you get to hear these women speak and hear, the different resources that you have and the support that you can seek out from these people. I didn't know that. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. And I was embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to tell anybody that I was going through this. So I started with meditation, because meditation for me was something I didn't have to leave my house. I could still sit in my little dark corner and I could meditate. And like Jane was saying earlier, it's like you breathe through these things, and it's uncomfortable, and you sit in that uncomfortableness, and then it passes. And you just do that over and over and over until those feelings, listen, it doesn't happen overnight, but taking those steps to kind of get yourself to a place where you can just breathe and just, really take inventory of what you're feeling and to look inside. And so meditation was where I started. And then I thought, okay, I do actually have to go outside. I have a dog, he needs to be walked. This is getting ridiculous, So I started doing yoga. And I always, sort of dabbled with yoga, but never quite, embraced it in the way that I did this time. I thought, okay, this is the next step for me. I'm gonna do yoga, I'm gonna start moving. I went on yoga retreats, I started seeing a shaman. So, different forms of therapy. For me, that was something that worked. And also meeting other women, doing these retreats, yoga, surfing. It was like the typical midlife cliche divorced woman thing. Like, oh, you're going on a surfing retreat? Of course you are. So, but I did it, and it was great, and I loved it, and you learn a lot about yourself. Just traveling alone, you learn a lot about yourself, I guess. But, so yoga was the next step. I kind of really embraced that. I got moving, I started to feel better, I started to look better. I started seeing clients again. So that was the biggest piece for me, was to start working and to start then interacting with clients. Of course, I had to, tell them where I was for 3 months, but they were all very supportive and understanding, and so it helped me to just get out there with clients again, start running with them, start training, start strength training, start, really starting to move and feel better. And then that's when I was getting hungry. So I'm like, oh, now it's time I can start eating food and getting nutrition in my body. And so doing that and just starting to move more with clients helped me to then think about, all right, now I have to focus on my food and my nutrition. I looked pale, I looked terrible. So I started to regroup and start to I started doing a food delivery service where they would actually, come and bring me healthy meals. Until I couldn't afford that anymore. And then, but that was something that was really important. I think people either go all or nothing, right? You're stressed out, you either want to eat everything in sight or you don't want to eat anything at all because your stomach is always upset and you're anxious. And I was having panic attacks and all of it. So I think getting the good nutrition back again was something that was really important for me, just to feel better, look better. And then what was the other piece? That's it. We have our step 1. So anyway, so basically, after doing all this stuff for myself, I realized, well, I started to go out of the house, and then that's when I met Judy. I actually went outside, and Judy and I met, and we started brainstorming about, how can we help women through a fitness program? So that's kind of where Fresh Start Fitness came from. It was kind of born from my own experience, and then my background in health and fitness. So we thought about doing 5 simple steps. What are the 5 simple steps that you can do? We started with meditation, like I did, and then we went to yoga, the strength training, and the nutrition piece. Then the 5th step is basically just kind of putting all of that together, or figuring out what it is that you like best, what's your favorite thing to do, and kind of going with that and getting on with your own healing journey. And so that's how we started this, and it's really very simple. It's a free download. Now I sound like I'm selling it. And it's super quick. It's 10 minutes meditation, it's 20 minutes of yoga, it's 10 minutes of strength and conditioning, and there's a downloadable nutrition program as well. And right now I'm helping a woman who's going through a divorce, and we're using Fresh Start Fitness to help her go through this process. It was a little shocking for her too, kind of similar to mine. She found out her husband was cheating on her, and that comes with all these self-esteem issues and all of that. So she really wants to lose weight and just feel good about herself again. So she's in phase 2 right now, and she's lost 10 pounds with me, so I'm really excited for her. Actually, I think we can share her, right? It's her Instagram is Sholly Shares. It's SCHULLY, and you guys can follow her if you want on her journey. We're doing an 8-week program. So every Friday we do Fresh Start Fridays, and she will post and I will post about what that phase looked like and how she kind of is embracing this new way of being. She was never anyone that would ever meditate or do yoga. She was like Soul Cycle all the way. That's it. I want to sweat and do this hardcore stuff. And she was kind of avoiding all the other things, but I think now that she's going through this, she understands how helpful those things are to even then go and do, your more aggressive workouts, your Soul Cycles and that sort of thing, to just have that awareness of your body. So, and so that's it. That's kind of it in a nutshell. That's my story. That's how Fresh Start Fitness was born. And if anyone has questions, I'm happy to answer any questions. Anything? You want to do a little, we have a little video clip of kind of a little recap of the program, I guess.
I created this program to help you heal and thrive after divorce. Creating this program helped me in my own journey as I learned to process my emotions, the fear, the anxiety, the loneliness through meditation and exercise and the nutrition. I'm recently divorced, and it's been a very rough time. These exercises have really helped me feel better about myself and move on to more positive things in life. This fresh start, it makes it nice and easy to be able to do this for myself. Here's a program for you, however you see fit. I want you to find your inner balance, get to your place of feeling rejuvenated and refreshed, and ready to move on with your amazing new life.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you.